Hey folks, this is Jake Davis with On the Fly Review for you. Today I'm talking about Terrifier 3. I can't really remember when this came out. The whole last month and a half has been like a blur to me. I've had a lot going on. Um, this film is directed by Damian Lewis, stars David Howard Thornton, Lauren Lavera, and plenty of fun cameos from Chris Jericho, Clint Howard, Tom Savini, and Jason Patrick. Which Jason Patrick, I saw that online, and even after I saw it, I had to go back and look at him. I was like, really? I didn't recognize him at all. I'm still not truly convinced that that's him, but it claims to be. So, we'll set up here, of course. It's conclusion. Art the Clown is a demonic, mute, unstoppable, merciless monster of a killer. Pretty much if he sees you, he's going to kill you. And this is around Christmas time, 5 years after she survived the last movie. He's hunting down the final girl and her family members to get revenge on her around the holidays. Like this is the third movie, like I said. I see the thing, I know I saw the sequel and I recommended it. I can't remember if I saw the first one, and I knew art came from an anthology series, but I can't remember which one it fucking was. But there's just so many of these fucking terrible anthology cheap-ass horror movies floating around, man. So many of them are just so bad. But where Terrifier 3, what's really standing out with Cell is its grisly violence. And yes, the last one had that in spades. And I think this one does too, but I think this film does better at honing in its focus on horror and building suspense. Suspense. Lewis is becoming a better director with each project. I really believe so. He's getting better on developing characters, on telling a story, on world building, and on the importance of just restraint. I guess that's what I'm looking for. How I always hate, I've talked about this before, how you see an action movie, and like in the first scene, here's all the big CGI, and here's all the explosions, and here's all the car crashes, and it's like, there's nothing for the film to escalate to now. You've had your money shot. In other words, I prefer, you start with a foot chase or then maybe a shootout. And it's not until your big one, you got guys hanging from airplanes and fist fighting and in midair and shit like that. Build up to it. And I kind of think that this movie gets a little bit more of that. Yes, we have vicious murder in the first scene, but in the earlier parts of the film, we kind of slowly build. It's not until the third act till you get to the kind of shit this series is really known for. Granted, we do have some grisly kills throughout the film. It's not like there's nothing there. But I think this movie did a lot better job in building the suspense on the wait. That opening scene was done very, very well. The scene in the bar is really well made. And the scene at the mall is the best scene in this whole series because it's the Hitchcock. It's a Hitchcock scene. It's you show a bomb under the table, and then you show two guys talking about baseball. We know that there's no need to be talking about baseball because there's a fucking bomb under the table. It's that connection, and they did that. That basically did that scenario for this movie, and it worked like a gem. I do have one major criticism. I felt that 2 hours long, the film definitely drags, and the biggest problem with that is they rush to their third act. I wasn't even sure we were going to the finale. I thought it was a dream sequence at first. And this is it. And there's also so many of the main characters die off screen. It just didn't make sense to me. Anyhow, I'm going to give Terrifier 3 stars. I think it is definitely an acquired taste of some movie you're not looking forward to or would rather not deal with, then don't. But if something you're looking forward to, something you're interested in, I definitely recommend it. I personally give it 3 stars. I think the makeup and gore effects, just like the last one, were excellently well done. And David Howard Thorne's performance as Art the Clown is just inspired. And Lauren Lavera just I said this to my wife too. This is a key thing with final girls in horror movies. You give us. There's so many final girls are usually stupid and they're screaming or they're naive or they just get lucky at the end. But you give us a smart and resourceful final girl, we'll love your movie forever. Scream, Aliens, Nightmare on Elm Street, a couple of the Friday the 13th movies, maybe part two for sure. Ready or Not. Make the girl smart. That's all you really got to make her smart and make her resilient and give us a good character. I recommend Terrifier. It's I guess fun's not the word to use for it, but I did enjoy myself. I'm Jake Davis, and I'll catch you on the fly.